technology snafu, but you know that kind of thing happens. And we know it's a little heated in the room, so we have some windows that are opening up so that we don't melt.
Can you come here so I can?
I absolutely can. So we're going to talk about today what is leadership. How many of us in the room today believe that they are in fact a leader? Absolutely. So this is going to partially be for you, but wholly be for those who did not raise up their hands. Because we're going to talk about what leadership is, what it takes to be a leader, what is the definition. Because many people will raise their hand because they believe that leadership is based upon the ideology of success, which is, success is what? It's whatever you deem it to be that benefits within the scope of your world. Success can be many things to many people, but that can't be leadership. Because how many of us know people who are successful, who are wealthy, that have maybe obtained their wealth from passed down generation? That doesn't necessarily build leadership. Or individuals that we know that are in leadership positions, but do not have the ability to lead. But we're going to most importantly define today what is leadership. Because I want you, when you leave this room, to understand that each one of us individually is a leader. And that your leadership can't look like mine. And my leadership won't look like yours. But it does not diminish what you have to share. So just to share with you guys a little bit, I am the founder of T. Leanne Speaking Pros. I started my company coming into the world of public speaking after leaving a traumatic situation of domestic violence. And decided after I was smart enough to maneuver myself out of that, right? Because everyone will look at you and say, well, you don't look like you could be. You don't look like it's like anything else. No one looks like they could be anything. But it does happen. And what I wanted to do was make sure that I shared my message, my story, how I came about it, how I navigated it with other women specifically. Because we often get wrapped up into the savior complex that we have. We throw on our cape, and I'm going to save every man. I know he can't read, write, can't spell too well, but I'm going to be the one that's going to teach him all that. And you'll teach him none of that. And this is not to bash men, but this is just what the reality is. We want to save. We want you to be that ideal, that picture of what we thought and what we think it could be. And then guess what? It doesn't happen to be that way. So how do we now navigate? So I knew coming out of this, having a strong personality, trying to get back to myself, I need to share this information with other women, other men, children, other groups that don't understand that your story, I'm living, my story, you're living. I'm an international motivational speaker. I travel all around the world speaking on women's empowerment, leadership. I'm a certified mental health advocate. I'm also a TED Talk coach. So I've coached 10 individuals on the TED Talk stage. I've never done a TED Talk. But I was sought after to do TED Talk coaching because I have something that I've trademarked that's called the CAM effect. It's CAM. The CAM effect is to captivate, articulate, and motivate. So when I coach you to get on the TED Talk stage or any conference, it's the expectation that you will captivate your audience, that you will articulate and not use pop culture referencing that I don't understand anyway. And you will motivate your audience so that if I say when you leave out of here you can fly, I bet you can fly. I know you can fly. I see the wings growing in your back, that you believe, in fact, when you leave out of here, that you have wings growing in your back and flying is imminent. It's something that you can do. That's motivation for me to leave you with a feeling of clear inspiration. So those are some of the things that I do. I travel, I speak. I'm a 4-time international best-selling author. Never thought I would write a book, was never really interested in it, but I found a way to find my passion. Those things that I listed still don't make me a leader. Because a leader is not built in your task. It's not built in what you do. So let's go over and let's go through my PowerPoint. I don't have many slides. I don't want to bore you guys with that. And we're going to go over 4 ideas today of what leaving your personal mark looks like. We're going to talk about what is leadership. Are you an effective leader? And what do you define as being a leader? And if so, are you using your skills to the full capacity? We're going to talk about leadership can never be a tool. We see this so often, either in corporations, elected officials, even in parentage. I am older than you, I am bigger than you, I have more position, this is my home, I pay the mortgage, I pay the rent, therefore I am, you are not. How do we take that leadership and empower other individuals? And being deliberate. When you are deliberately you, what does deliberance mean? Like, even if you're deliberately nasty to somebody, then you seek that out. Like, you put thought into that. Like, I don't like you, I'm gonna trip you when I see you the next time. Like, I put thought into where you're gonna walk, how I'm gonna put the leg out, how you're gonna trip, how you're gonna fall. That was deliverance. But I want you to take that and deliberately make sure that everything you do about you is built on the betterment of you, empowering you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into what is leadership. We're going to talk about what leadership is and what leadership isn't. I don't think this will allow me to scroll. Oh, look at that. Okay. So what leadership is, it's about service. Why is leadership about service? Like, I'm leading, I'm running the company, I hire the employees. Because the only way you can be a leader is to have people buy into the concept and the idea that you have something to give them, sell them something that's going to benefit them in their lives, that they would hang on to your word, that they would work at your company, that they would follow your example. Leadership can only be about how you are in service to others. Because that's what it's about. Who do you lead then if you don't serve others? If you don't help support other women when they are in need of support, you don't give information, you don't open up doors, you don't put out concession plans. Women are horrible with lifting other women up. We stay in positions until we die, and then we bring the casket into. Amen. We have to find a way to know that me lifting you up doesn't mean I'm not a leader. What that looks like. But we have to do that. And until you are in service to individuals, not just community service, volunteering at a food kitchen, until you are legitimately serving under other individuals, helping them to grow, making sure that their aspirations can become a reality based upon what you have that you can offer them. That is true leadership. Leadership is not hanging over your head, well, I make more money than you. Good for you. It's not hanging over someone else's head, well, I got my bachelor's and my master's. Good for you, you got a good financial aid plan. Leadership can never be about how you are better than someone, but how you can take them on the walk with you. That is leadership. In doing so, you have to claim your independence. Because claiming your independence means that, again, that deliverance. That this is the mission. The mission is that I will support other individuals. It doesn't diminish me. It doesn't take anything away from me. That's why learning what makes you tick is so important. Maybe you're not a group person. Maybe you're not a leader. Maybe you just think you're a leader because somebody told you was. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not intended to be. Maybe that's not your mission. I can't tell you what that is, but what I can tell you is if your journey is not to lift up, you are in fact not a leader. You heard it here first. Write that down. You cannot be. It is impossible. So you have to make sure stepping into your own means that you know exactly what your mission is, how to accomplish that mission, how to make sure that that mission supports other individuals. And learning what makes you tick is not the likes and the dislikes. It's the idiosyncrasies, right? It's the things that make you better. It's a little envy that you may have. Well, I got nervous because another woman came in the building and she has more degrees than me. Does that mean that she's a better employee? Is that the vendor that comes next door that may have something you have and you're selling a similar product, her product is better? It's really learning the things that help you to grow, because once you realize that these are the 4 things I need to work on, and you start to put that time and that progress and that energy into, we all have a list of things. That's learning what makes you tick as an individual. And when you learn what makes you tick as an individual, you're able to communicate, have better relationships with other people. And that's necessary. That's necessary as a leader. It's necessary as someone that comes with a mission and a purpose, and I'm sharing it with you. Why would you listen? None of you guys in the room have any idea if I just came here today and made this up. How you know? You don't know. Sounds good. She got a lot of passion. We don't know. She's sweating. We don't know what's going on. But what you do know is after you Google me when you leave this room, she's got passion. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about. It's got empathy in it, and it makes you want to listen and to subscribe to it. That's what a leader has to do. A leader has to encourage you to want to be a part of it. Let's go to the next slide. Fine-tuning your purpose. Why are you here? And this goes into the question of not allowing leadership to be utilized as a tool. How many of you in the room, by show of hands, know people that want certain positions not because they're qualified, not because they should have them, but because they either know someone, or they feel entitled to it, or I should just have it? Doesn't even have to have a good reasoning. We all know people like that. And when you are like that, then that means that you are utilizing any power that you can have as a tool. A retail manager has presumable power, is a presumable leader of an employee at a retail store. That's power to that person. And how do you utilize that? Do you use that to make sure that they're being trained properly, to make sure that you're caring properly? Professors, is it my way or the highway? I've had a doctor tell me, well, don't tell me, I went to school for 10 years. No, I'm going to tell you because I pay premiums. Or can you not listen? Is it not an option that because of your title and your role, it is impossible for anyone else to give you anything that might be beneficial because you've already locked in that I'm the leader, I already got this is what it is. Gotta be really clear about that. That's the why are you here? Are you here to support people? Are you here to support the mission? Or does this make you feel good about yourself and attempt to make someone else feel that they're worse? Do you see an employee, a friend, a colleague, a family member that has a need and you don't support it? I let them figure it out themselves. I had to figure it out myself. Did you? And if you did, why not prevent them from having 4 extra steps? See, I understood when I went through a situation of domestic violence, I wasn't the first woman. I will not be the last woman. And then there'll be some women after the woman that think she's the last woman. But what I did understand is that I had to help other women navigate. So when I go and I speak to women about domestic violence, no, I don't sit up and hug them and kiss their boo-boos with them. I help them have a financial plan. Where to put your mailboxes, everybody's not ready to leave. But I'm empower you. So when the second you decide this don't work for you no more, you got your money over here, you've got your stash over here, you've got your situation over here. Now all we have to work on is your confidence and the thing that's going to get you out the door over here. That's what that's about. I would be less than a person if I didn't take what I know, how I know, and share with someone. It doesn't mean my way is perfect or the best, but it does mean I have a responsibility because I got out. I have a responsibility because someone right now is sitting in it. We have a responsibility, if you call yourself a leader, to serve. That's the reality. Are you showing up to your own existence? Showing up to your own existence, who are you? It's not the same as why you're here. Why you're here is 2 different reasons. That could just be entitlement. Are you living in your purpose that doesn't allow you to diminish my purpose? Are you being who you should be so that you don't have to be on my helmet all the time because you don't know, so you mad because I think I may know? That's about, are you showing up to your own existence? Are you living the life that you're intended to live? Because true leaders understand. You may have 4 different comings of what you want to do in your lifetime, but the real test is to be able to live it and not to have other people living in the mass of your anger, your horror, and your terror. That's the real stuff. Empowering those that come after you. So this is a conversation I have with women all the time, and I'm going to tell you how women get it wrong. And that might sound negative, but I'm going to tell you how women get it wrong. We think that that means finding a kid in the family, finding the kid up the street, or finding on the farthest spectrum somebody that you never could help. Like you are wasting every bit of your time. Empowering those that come after you doesn't even have to be that severe. Are you in a position in your office and maybe you're looking to be manager and you know that there's another young lady that has potential, you're too afraid to help her? Because what's for you going to be for you? If she can come and take it, she was never getting it. Do you help support other people in the community that maybe you can help uplift and upbuild them to be better. They don't have to be like you. The mission is to make no one like you, but it's to let them know that they lead. Do you know who the best leaders in this world is? It's mothers. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a mother will go hungry to feed her child. She will spend all of her money keeping the lights on and have to take the bus to make sure her child gets to school where he or she needs to get to. A mother will sacrifice for her child where others don't even understand. That doesn't mean if you don't have children, you don't sacrifice, but it's different when you're a mother. Because that mama bear instinct starts, coming up and kicking in when somebody's bullying your kid at school and you're going up here with a match and a stick, you're upset at It's a different type of something. And if you are a mother, you are in fact one of the best leaders. Because you not only hold the structure of the family down, you instill love and encouragement and all those things into your kids so that when your kid gets to corporate, when your kid becomes an entrepreneur, when your kid goes to college, they've already got the fundamentals. And we don't stifle that. We shouldn't stifle that. So empowering those that come after you doesn't have to be as severe and wide as anything else, but it is a responsibility that if you're a man, you support women. If you're a woman, don't just do women. We got sons. If it's only about supporting women, then what happens to our sons? We have to help them to be good men so that they can marry good women, have good lives. Cannot just be about women. We have to continue supporting the whole structure and leading the way to succession. How do we support other individuals? As stated before, leadership can never be about you feeling that someone is going to come in and take something that you feel is owed to you. It just doesn't work that way. If it's owed to you, you'll get it. It's got your name on it. Nobody can take it from you. How many of you here today have someone that you know that you can mentor and support to greatness and has not? That's where you fail. That's where we all fall short. And sometimes, let's not get it wrong, it comes with pain and grief and people attempt to use you. All those things does not matter. We have to continue to do it. Because as we continue to do it, it continues to get better. And again, supporting other women to soar and reach the potential. Your daughters will never get there if you don't support each other to help them get there. And it's not easy. I tell people all the time, women do not have a sisterhood. It is not. There's no sisterhood. Your sister might be your sisterhood, but it is not, because the moment we get into that fight or flight moment, we are pulling out tripwires, snatching out hair, extension weaves, all that other stuff to get it done, and I don't care nothing about you being a woman. It's not a sisterhood, and I don't require you to be my sister. What I do require is that we just be good women to each other. And if we do that, that makes us good entrepreneurs, good humans, good parents. It all comes under the thrust of that. So I'm coming down to the close. And I really want to tell you that everything in business comes from the place of not only leadership, but how we treat each other. You can think you'll be successful if you step on each other. You might be for a little while, and then it doesn't happen. You can think you can be successful if you look over everyone and then you only focus on you. But then guess what? Then somebody else is going to do that to you, and we never get to where we need to get to. We have a responsibility and obligation, everyone that is around, everyone in this room, to make sure that leadership is as synonymous as apple pie. That it is something that we do, that we are deliberately being leaders. We are all leaders. Different levels of leadership, make no mistake. A leader is not the loudest person in the room, and I'm loud, so. A leader is not the person with the nastiest attitude. Not the person that has the most connections. I often find you the least leader because you haven't had to do the hunt like I have. The leader is the person that can look in this room and scope out how I can support you, how I can support you. I met you, I know what you need, and how I can be of assistance to you. That's a leader. Because a leader understands you can't go there by themselves. Set strategic and deliberate goals. How do you do that? How is that necessary? Why is that necessary? Well, maybe your goal setting is that I'm going to mentor. I'm going to make sure I'm working on me. I'm going to make sure that I'm working on the things that have held me back from being a full leader. And work on those things. For those who didn't raise their hands in the room because you either don't think you're a leader because you're not as loud as me, or you don't think you're a leader because maybe you haven't moved up the ladder like some people have, you're probably the best leader in here, because a leader watches and observes. They don't jump to it. They try to figure it out. They look around. They try to network appropriately. You're probably the best leader in the room. Do not ever doubt your ability to be exactly what you are and what you are meant to be. Amplify your presence. If you're not there, make sure people know you're there. Make sure people see you. Be proud of you. Be proud of the mission. Be proud of the journey. Be proud of what you create, how you create it. That's necessary. Don't you ever sit in the shadows and say, well, I'm just nothing. Be excited about what you are creating and how you're doing that. And know that there is another woman coming in behind you who will look at you and will say, damn it, if she did it, I can do it. That's what we're supposed to do. Never shrink away from your greatness. Some people can't handle it. Not your problem. That's their problem. But nonetheless, make sure that you understand we are all great. And we are all made in God's image. We all have our own journey. And no one can take anything from you that is not intended for you. Thank you, everyone. I hope this made up for you. I'll be at